What I'm going to share with you now is actually very simple. Anybody can do it. It's not difficult. It's not complex. It's one of the most natural things that we can do. But it's also one of the things that we suppress through stress, through chronic stress. And it's actually what leads us to holding so much in the body, whether it's trauma, emotional energy, all that stuff that builds up and over time causes an imbalance in our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And this is something that I discovered relatively late in my healing journey. I wish I'd known it sooner. And I'm sharing this in the 6-week Alchemy of Stress in the Lighthouse web app. And the people that I'm working with are seeing really quite amazing results. And it's really so simple. So, what is it, this simple stress relief? Well, it has everything to do with this energy center, the throat chakra, and how you express yourself, how you use your voice. Now, this is a thing that gets suppressed because we don't say what we feel, we don't feel safe, or we've been taught in some way that it's not okay to say what we feel, or there's some judgment brought to certain things that we do feel. Perhaps it's anger. It's not okay to be angry. And in this way, we start to judge what we feel. And it's understanding that we're human. We're meant to feel everything. And as soon as we can be present with what it is we're feeling in the body, there's that conscious connection, and we become aware of what the body's communicating in emotions and sensations and feelings, and we can start to acknowledge what we feel. And say this before another post, what you feel matters because you matter. And instead of judging what you're feeling, you're acknowledging it, you're allowing it, you're expressing it. And what happens is, when we're stressed, we suppress. We suppress what we feel. We suppress who we are, our natural expression. And this in itself is a cause of great stress, because we're trying to hold everything in, not only what we're feeling, but who we are. And over time, that creates an imbalance, a distortion in the way you feel about yourself, think about yourself, but also in your body. And that's when we start to have all these symptoms, physical symptoms, health complaints. We don't feel well in ourselves. And so the first thing we can do, the most simple, powerful, healing thing you can do, is start to express yourself out loud. All that pressure of what we've suppressed and held in, all that tension that's created in stress and then of course causes stress, is held within the body. And if you like, this area can create a bottleneck. Everything's held in. The moment we start to activate and use the voice, or activate the throat chakra, it's like turning on a tap. We're allowing things to flow. Emotions, the way we express ourselves. And as soon as we do that, we start to relieve the pressure that's been held in over years. The things that we weren't able to say when we were young, the things that we weren't able to express because we didn't feel safe or confident in how we were feeling, started to doubt what we felt, judge what we felt. And so everything gets held in. And I find this when I'm doing my own healing, but also when I'm healing with others. We start to express, I feel this, but it's in conscious connection. So it's becoming very present in the body, that embodied presence, which becomes a natural reflex over time the more you do this. And maybe it's something uncomfortable, like pain. Pain for me, when it's related to stress, is an expression, a physical expression of the emotional pain that we may have felt for years but never expressed. It's been held in. And the body needs to express it in some way to tell you, look, there's something here that needs to be acknowledged, to be expressed, to be felt. So if you're experiencing pain, it could be muscular pain, joint pain, back pain, any kind of pain, chronic pain, you bring your attention to it. You feel it, you acknowledge it. As you feel it and acknowledge it, you're acknowledging yourself. Your body and you are the same expression. Okay, there's no separation. And so as you bring your awareness to what it is you're feeling and you express it, again, you're activating this energy center that's been blocked, shut down through that suppression for years. And you're allowing that flow, that release of pressure and tension. And it's like an affirmation, but you don't need to think of it as an affirmation. Think of it more as expressing yourself, allowing yourself to speak, to express yourself, to say what you feel. It's incredibly freeing, healing, powerful, the power of your voice to heal. But it's in that presence, that conscious connection, because your presence is also powerful in healing. So you'd say, I feel this pain, it hurts. And you're not only saying that about your back, but you're saying it about all the emotional pain and hurt that you may have felt over the years that you weren't able to express, that you'd learned to suppress, you'd learned to ignore it. And if we ignore what we're feeling, we're also ignoring ourselves. It's really critical, that, okay? But you're also understanding the connection, how the body communicates. The body communicates emotional pain that's been suppressed and held in as physical pain, okay? So you're bringing consciousness to your experience, and you're doing that when you're present, you're consciously connected, you're in your body. So you're not just here thinking about how everything hurts and it's terrible. You're in your body, you're consciously connected to the pain that you're experiencing, and you're expressing it. You're expressing it in a way that you weren't able to when you were a kid. It hurts. It's painful. Okay? And then you're allowing the body to release that tension that's been built up perhaps for years. And again, there's a release, there's a flow that's coming through this unblocking of the throat chakra. And it's in how you express yourself. It is so powerful. It is so simple. Anybody can do it. And I really recommend that you start today. Start recognizing what it is you're feeling in that conscious connection. Be present in the body, and then express what you're feeling. And as you do that, it's liberating. You're liberating yourself from all the tension that's been held in, but you're liberating yourself because when you can speak freely, you are free. Okay, you're not suppressing your voice, you're not suppressing yourself. It is so powerful, it is so healing, and I want to share that with you. It's created incredible change in my life, and I can see that with the people I'm working with as well. So try that, please. Walk around your house, be in that connection with your body, and then say things out loud. I feel. Let it flow. Perhaps in the beginning, you're going to feel like there's barely a drop. If you're thinking about, opening the tap and allowing things to flow, that energetic flow, emotional flow, flow of your words, your thoughts, allowing it out. That's interesting too, actually, because if we're doing all this within and you're not expressing yourself out loud, you're not activating the throat chakra, your voice in the same way. And your thoughts can become easily distracted, pulled into narratives and stories and old trauma and all sorts of things, as we know thoughts can do. But as soon as you're using your voice, you have to be very intentional. You have to choose. And there you can understand that you have power. Stress disconnects and you can feel disempowered. You lose your voice, you lose yourself. But the moment you start to use your voice, you have to choose. And there you understand, I have choice. I can choose how I talk to myself. I can choose what I express. I can speak authentically. And you can say what you need to say. Don't censor yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't suppress what it is you feel. It is so liberating to express yourself freely, to speak authentically, to be in your authentic expression. Healing, powerful, liberating. And yeah, I recommend that you start doing that today. And if you'd like to explore more, because this is what I share in the 6-week Alchemy of Stress, then all the details are in the description box below. It's in the Lighthouse web app. It may seem too simple, but it's beautifully simple. And the more that you integrate this into your awareness and into your day-to-day, the more you're going to see your life change. You're going to feel that shift within, because the tension will be able to flow, to be let out. The body will thank you for it and you will feel so much better. I hope that helped. And as always, I look forward to reading your comments. Please do like, share, subscribe, and and I look forward to seeing you in the next post.